Ladies and gentlemen, I want to share something with you that has the potential to shift the entire trajectory of your life. This isn't just another motivational talk. This is a divine invitation to stop existing and start living with meaning. You were created with a purpose. You are not a mistake. You are designed by God for greatness and significance. You were created with a purpose. That's not just spiritual language. It's a psychological and philosophical truth. Think about this. Out of over 8 billion people on the planet, no one else has your exact combination of talents, passions, and experiences. That's not coincidence. That's calling. We spend so much time trying to fit into someone else's mold, comparing ourselves to someone else's timeline, but purpose doesn't come from imitation. It comes from alignment. And alignment starts by understanding that you were designed intentionally, not randomly. Now, let's get clear. Purpose is not just what you do. It's who you are becoming while you do it. You can be a teacher, an entrepreneur, a student, a parent. Those are roles. But purpose is deeper. It's the why that drives the what. Without it, even success feels empty. That's why some people make millions and still feel bankrupt inside. Because the soul is starving for meaning. Psychologically, purpose gives structure to your identity. It anchors you during chaos. People who lack purpose tend to drift. They chase stimulation instead of transformation. But those who know their purpose live with a different kind of clarity, a different kind of urgency. They don't need external permission to act. They're driven by an inner conviction that their life matters. And if you've ever questioned whether you matter, I want to be clear, you do. Purpose isn't just for the gifted, the famous, or the extraordinary. Purpose is for you. But it only activates when you decide to stop asking, "What can I get from life?" and start asking, "What was I put here to give?" You weren't just born to exist. You were born to execute. The meaning of life is found in growth. Meaning doesn't come from success alone, but from progress, learning, and becoming. The meaning of life is found in growth, not in comfort, not in perfection, and definitely not in performance for other people's approval. Growth is the process by which potential becomes power. And when you stop growing, you stop expanding the capacity to live a life of meaning. Think about it. Anything in nature that's alive is growing. The moment it stops, it starts to decay. Human beings are no different. Now, I'm not talking about just growing your income or your influence. I'm talking about growing your mindset, your character, your wisdom, your emotional intelligence. That kind of growth creates internal value that no external circumstance can take away. And here's the key: growth is often uncomfortable. It requires challenge. It demands that you confront the parts of yourself you'd rather ignore. But that's the point. Growth reveals what comfort conceals. Philosophically, life is not about arriving. It's about becoming. You don't become fulfilled by achieving a goal. You become fulfilled by who you become in pursuit of that goal. Every time you overcome resistance, every time you discipline yourself when no one's watching, every time you learn something that forces you to think differently, you are growing. And with every step of growth, your life gains more meaning because you are becoming more you, the real you, the designed you, the version of you that was buried under years of fear, distraction, and survival mode. Here's what I've learned. You don't find meaning by chasing outcomes. You find meaning by choosing to grow through every outcome. Whether you win or lose, succeed or stumble, if you grow, you win. And if you keep growing, you will outlive every limitation you were ever taught to accept. Mindset is the master key. Personal development starts with reprogramming your belief systems and thinking patterns. Mindset is the master key. You can have the best strategies, the right tools, the perfect timing, but if your mind is wired for fear, lack, or limitation, you will sabotage the very opportunities you prayed for. See, the mind doesn't operate on facts. It operates on beliefs, and most people are living not according to truth, but according to mental programming they never consciously chose. Think about it. From childhood, we're given scripts: what's possible, what's safe, what's realistic. We inherit mindsets from our families, schools, culture, even trauma. And if those scripts go unchallenged, they become invisible ceilings. You're not stuck because of your situation. You're stuck because of your system of thought. That's why personal development isn't just motivational, it's mental renovation. Psychologically, your mindset creates your perception, and your perception filters your reality. Two people can face the same problem. One sees an obstacle, the other sees opportunity. The difference, not talent, not education, mindset. The most successful people aren't always the most skilled. They're the most mentally aligned with their purpose. Now, this is where the work begins. Rewriting your mindset isn't about hype. It's about daily discipline, repeating truth until it overrides the lies. It's studying, journaling, praying, reflecting, surrounding yourself with people who speak to your potential, not your pain. And most importantly, it's about refusing to be a prisoner of outdated thinking. Because here's the truth: you will never live beyond the limits of your mindset. Your thoughts shape your identity, and your identity sets the thermostat for your life. If you want to raise the temperature of your results, you've got to first upgrade the programming that controls the system. When you change your mind, you don't just change your thoughts, you change your future. Discipline is the bridge between desire and destiny. Growth requires consistent action, not just motivation. Discipline is the bridge between desire and destiny. Everybody wants success. Everybody wants to make an impact, live with purpose, leave a legacy. But desire without discipline is just daydreaming. The truth is, it's not what you want that changes your life. It's what you're willing to consistently do to become the kind of person who can handle what you asked for. Discipline isn't just about action, it's about alignment. It's saying, I will make choices today that my future self will thank me for tomorrow. Psychologically, discipline rewires your brain for resilience. It teaches your nervous system that discomfort doesn't mean danger, it means development. And most people miss this. Discipline doesn't make life harder, it makes life simpler by removing the clutter of impulsive decisions. It gives structure to your ambition. Philosophically, discipline is the expression of freedom, not freedom from responsibility, but freedom through responsibility. A person who cannot master themselves will always be ruled by something else: their environment, their emotions, or their excuses. Discipline is how you reclaim authorship over your story. Now let me be clear, you won't always feel like showing up. Motivation is emotional, discipline is intentional. Discipline says, even if I don't feel it, I'll still do it because I know why I started. That's how you compound progress. That's how you separate potential from performance. Because in the end, it's not the loudest dreamers who shape the world. It's the quiet, disciplined builders who wake up every day and put in the work when no one's watching. If you don't discipline your desires, your distractions will devour your destiny. Serve to grow. Don't just grow to serve. The more you help others, the more meaningful your life becomes. Serving others is not just a nice thing to do. It's a fundamental principle that transforms your life into something meaningful. So many people think growth is about accumulation, getting more for themselves. But true personal development flips that script. It says, the more you give, the more you grow. When you serve, you step outside the limits of your own experience and tap into a well of purpose that no amount of self-focus can ever reach. Psychologically, service shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance. When you invest in others, Whether it's time, knowledge, encouragement, or resources, you are actually rewiring your brain to see opportunities instead of obstacles. Service creates a feedback loop of positive emotion and connection, which fuels resilience and motivation. You start to see your life not as isolated, but interconnected with a bigger story. Philosophically, serving others is a recognition of our shared humanity. No one succeeds alone. Every breakthrough is built on the support, wisdom, and sometimes sacrifice of others. When you serve, you align yourself with a universal truth. That meaning isn't found in what you take, but in what you give back. It's a cycle. When you bless others, you bless yourself. When you uplift others, you elevate your own spirit. Serving also reveals your unique value. It's in the act of helping others that you discover what only you can offer the world. You develop skills, deepen character, and build relationships that enrich your life in ways that money and status never will. So here's the point. Growth that isn't connected to service is shallow and temporary, but growth that's rooted in serving others is deep and lasting. If you want a meaningful life, don't just grow for yourself, grow through others. Eternity is the ultimate lens live not just for the moment, but for legacy and impact that lasts beyond your time. When we talk about making life meaningful, we have to talk about eternity not in some distant, abstract way, but as a lens through which every decision, every action, every thought gains weight. Most people live as if this moment is all there is, as if life's value is measured by immediate gratification or temporary success. But if you want to live meaningfully, you have to live with an awareness that your life's impact extends far beyond the present. Psychologically, when you shift your focus from short-term satisfaction to long-term legacy, your priorities change. You start to value patience over impulsivity, wisdom over haste, and contribution over consumption. You recognize that your actions echo in the lives of those you touch, in your family, your community, and even generations yet unborn. This perspective transforms mundane tasks into sacred responsibilities. Philosophically, eternity reframes the meaning of life from mere survival or success to stewardship. You become a caretaker not just of your own life, but of the values, knowledge, and love that will outlast you. This is the ultimate call to significance, to live in such a way that when you're no longer here, the world is better because you were. The irony is that many live hurried lives, chasing fleeting goals, unaware that they are sacrificing eternal value for temporary pleasure. But true meaning is found when you choose to invest in things that matter beyond your lifespan: relationships, wisdom, character, and service. If you can live today with eternity in mind, you will make choices that align your life with something greater than yourself. You will move from simply existing to truly impacting. Remember this: life without legacy is just a story unfinished. Make yours one worth telling beyond the limits of time.